I'm your host, Noah Love, and tonight we will be talking about the two games for the 8th seed in the NBA play-in tournament between the Grizzlies and the Mavs in the West and the Heat and the Hawks in the East. We will also be discussing Nico, the quarterback now for UCLA, but was at Tennessee. I'll actually start with that, and then we'll discuss these NBA playoff series. So let's get right into it. The Nico, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. You know the deal. He early on he had a good freshman year at Tennessee. They made the playoff. He held out of practice, didn't come to practice because he wanted $4 million, and Josh Heupel said that's it. That's it, Tennessee. That's it. Josh Heupel said you're not coming back. We're done with you. But apparently, Nico, his agent had went behind him and the parents' back to try to negotiate more money. That's where the $4 million, he won $4 million reports came in. And that didn't work. So, and it backfired massively. So we tried to save face, pin it on Tennessee. Then Nico's dad, because apparently his dad kind of tells him what to do in a certain way. He said, nah, you're not going to practice. We're going to sit this out. And that's obviously when Josh Heupel said, no, enough is enough. We're cutting ties. I will applaud Josh Heupel because he made the right decision, but nobody's a winner in this. Nobody's a winner. Look, if you're Tennessee, you built your whole offense around this guy, and now he's gone. That stings. Also, if you're Nico, I mean, you just blew a deal. I mean, think about it. You were playing for about what, $4 million? Around you were playing for what, $2 million? I mean, that's essentially what you were. That's essentially what you were playing for, $2 million. In this Arizona Sports article here, I'm looking for it. Here, let's see teams. Okay, so this is where it starts. So as we know, a report came out saying Oregon's head coach Dan Lanning had kind of got wind of the situation and tried to, he reached out to Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel regarding the situation. It says, as you can imagine, that wasn't well received. The fracturing began, and this was the start of even more lies and deceptions to follow. Some of the other schools that were reached out to in the winter transfer portal, were Notre Dame, USC, UCLA, Texas Tech. Fighting Irish in Oregon was not interested. Making the move for both USC, UCLA didn't make sense at the time. Obviously, now UCLA kind of got him, but we will get back into that later. Was Coach Heupel in Tennessee catching wind of the situation? Their side was obviously unhappy, but intended to let things play out. According to a source on their side, they weren't going to make an impulsive decision. They would see what the next steps look like. The shame of this all is that Nico wasn't privy to the majority of what was happening behind the scenes, meaning he didn't really know what was going on behind the scenes. All this chaos was going on and he didn't really know. This is just how things are managed in their family dynamic. He is typically an important piece in a game of leveraging deception and is expected to fall without any pushback. So basically, the parents and agents are using him. The parents and the agent are using him to see what is best for them. Not what's best for Nico, what's best for them and get more money. This is insane. When the story from Nakos came out, the family was completely blindsided by it. They all felt deceived, and Nico and other parts of his family were especially affected. With a lack of information about everything that was taking place, Nico was once again relegated to following his dad and his orders to not show up to practice last Friday. Once that happened, the relationship was to the point of no repair. Coach Hypo and Tennessee furious about the situation. They made the only decision that made any sense at that point was moving on from their talented signal caller. Tennessee AD Danny White was a major part in the final decision. It sounds like he gave the last nudge to cut the cord. And then it shows the NACO's thing. Now he's in the portal. The agent went behind their back, tried to negotiate a deal, blew up. I feel low key. If I feel bad for Nico because most of this is not his fault. Now, I think he should show up. I think he should show up to practice and talk to the coach. I do, and try to work something out with the coach. I do think he should have done that. But in terms of all this, they are using Nico to get more money for themselves. That's basically what is said in the article. And his dad and his agent screwed Nico. They screwed him. They screwed him big time because now we went from being a starting quarterback on a college football playoff team last season and also making $2 million to now he's not. He's screwed here. And this in Tennessee, I think, sent a message saying, look, if you're going to try to pull this crap on our program, we're not. You're not welcome here. This is NIL now. This is NIL. This is a cautionary tale. There was also rumors about Nico, the star QB. He denies the college football game holdout accusations. There was an accusation that while they were negotiating, that if he during the negotiations he could potentially have held out the game against Ohio State, which would have been unprecedented, unbelievable. He said the former Tennessee quarterback took to Instagram to deny the allegations, though, that he held out practice for more money and threw the college football playoff game, which if you watched him in that game, but I don't think he threw it personally. It's just the quarterback defending himself against reports that he had threatened to boycott Tennessee's first-round college football playoff game against Ohio State. In quotes, he said, "Damn, I tried to sit out and throw the playoff game too. These boys just make me laugh. Ain't no way." So Nico's basically saying he didn't try to throw the game, which I don't think he did. His deal was up to $2.4 million, obviously. I don't think he tried to throw the game or anything personally, but this is the problem with NIL. You have people, you have agents, so-called agents, representing these guys / kids, and they don't even know really what they're doing. They're not qualified to be agents. They're just not. They're not. And then you got parents now sometimes who are taking advantage of their kid. They're thinking, okay, how can we get money? Not what's best for Nico. Now he's at UCLA because UCLA, he transferred them. UCLA for 1.75. So he went from making 2.4 million on college football playoff team to 1.75 for UCLA. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And this is one of the dangers with NIL. Holdouts. Now, I don't think that the holdout thing, the supposed holdout, I don't know if Nico wanted to do that. I guess he just said, you know what, Dad, I'm going to trust you on this. Okay. He ended up getting dismissed. Now he's at a new school. If you're asking my opinion on this, my opinion is Nico, his parents, and his agent, mainly his agent, screwed him. That's my opinion. His dad and his agent screwed him. That's what happened. I feel bad for him in a sense because, again, like the article said, a lot of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes he had no control over, and it looked like they say they were just leveraging him, so they were using him to get more money. But he's the one out there is playing. He's the one that's going to get hate on First Take and on Get Up. He's the one that's going to be hated by the Tennessee fan base because of this. And that's not fair, and that's not right. College football has a serious problem. Not screw college football. College sports has a serious problem with NIL because as much as we want to talk about the parity and all of that, this is one of the cons. This is one of the cons right here. We talk about, oh, college football has more parity. Oh, college basketball, it has parity. The games are better. Not everyone can just stack their teams, which, yes, is true. I'm all for athletes going and making money, but you have to put rules and regulations on it. It's the Wild Wild West. There are no rules. There are no cap. Imagine NFL free agency without a salary cap and rules. It'd be crazy out here. And what college football is after the year ends, or even during the year, because the portal's always open. People can say the portal's always open. The portal never closes. What this is now is athletes have to make a decision about their future. Bo Pabrilla, for example, Penn State made a run to the national semifinal last year. He was their backup quarterback. They used him in some plays. He had to play a majority of one game because the starting quarterback for Penn State got injured. He has to enter the portal because at quarterback, there are only so many starting spots. So he has to enter the portal before the playoffs. And he's talking to Franklin like, I want to play, but if I don't enter the portal and we go on a big run, I'm screwed. And I don't think I'm going to start here next year. I want to go somewhere where I can start, which is understandable on his part. That's completely understandable. And now he's at Missouri, but he had to make a decision. There has to be something where the portal opens after the playoff, the national title game. That's that. That's what they need. Also, if you're going to transfer, you can only do it one time. If if you want to do it more than once, A, you have to have a waiver, or B, you have to sit out. So if you're going to transfer, make it worthwhile. Make sure it's the right decision. You have to put a cap. There's no rules and regulations right now in college football. And this same thing goes for college basketball as well. I mean, it's ridiculous that the portal officially opened during the Sweet 16. That's ridiculous. There has to be some type of rules where okay, the portal opens at this time, it ends at this time. You can only have a certain amount of money if you're a school. I mean, Carson Beck got $4 million for crying out loud. Holy overpay. Miami? And somebody else, I think, will try this. Now, will it be at a smaller school? Probably. And you know what? If they're at a smaller school, they could probably get away with it. If they were at a smaller school, they could get away with it probably. Imagine if somebody tried to pull this at a Ohio State, a Georgia, a Bama. They wouldn't. You off the team. We got 5 stars behind you. 5 star, 5 star, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 star. They don't care. Now with Hypo, obviously, now I know the quarterback position is different, but with Hypo, obviously, it's like it's just getting too much. I have to put my team first. Like I said, in this situation, there are no winners. Nico's a loser because now he's at UCLA, a lesser program, and it's at less money. And now Tennessee, you just lost your starting QB. So you're kind of so both sides lost. It's just a very unfortunate situation, and I hope and I pray it doesn't happen to anyone again. But college football, somebody NCAA has to do something. They have to. All right, let's go into the NBA playoffs. Let's first start with this live score update. The Heat are up 7-0 on the Hawks. The Heat are trying to get to the Holy Dead crowd. Got the game over here. The Heat are trying to get the AC and face Cleveland in the first round. Atlanta lost the first play in the game. They got beat by Orlando bad. Miami beat Chicago bad. The other game is Mavs Grizzlies, which I think is going to be the best game. Every time Anthony Davis sees Memphis, he destroys them. I told you some of the keys in the last game. Some of the keys is going to be AD, obviously, how he performs. Who will they have on Ja Morant, Memphis? I don't know who they'll have on him. Ja, I don't know who they'll play on him, but Edie, it's going to be tough in the paint, I think, for AD, depending on who, because he, like I said, he just gives Jaren Jackson hell. Edie being in there may make it tougher. I think AD's going to have to really step out and shoot the three. But if AD does what he does against Memphis usually, I think Dallas will win the game. To me, obviously, I don't know how Ja Morant, I think it's his ankle. I don't know how it's doing. This is crazy because there is a world tonight where I can see Dallas going into FedEx Forum and shocking Memphis, heat up 10-0. Atlanta, what are you doing? But I could see a world where Dallas goes into Memphis and shocks the Grizzlies. And we will be talking about a 48-win Grizzlies team, not in the playoffs, in the lottery, because they couldn't handle their business. Taylor Jenkins was the problem. Yeah, okay. You're one game away from going home. Now, will they go home? I don't know. If AD and Clay play like they did against Sacktown, go home, I think it's going to take a big time effort from Ja. Jaren's got to play. If Jaren's going to give up 30, he's got to get at least 25. The rebounding obviously is going to be a big key because it's going to be a big dominated game. I favor Memphis just because I believe the guard play of of Memphis will be better in terms of Ja and Bane. Um, but yeah, that's who I got right now. Atlanta's just getting their butts kicked down 10-0. Ooh, this series Saturday. I talked about these series briefly. I'm gonna go more in depth now. Let's start with the first game. That's tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Excited, Bucks and Pacers. Giannis is having a great season. He's gonna finish third in MVP voting because SGA and freaking Jokic have just been absurd, and their teams are better. Dick Halliburton has a chance to be All NBA third team. Oh look, Indiana, no Dame in game 1, but Dame. I'm pretty the way this has happened. I think Dame may play in this series. Will he play in game 2? I don't know. They're obviously going to do a ramp up and see if he can play, but game 1 he's not playing. I honestly think the Pacers take the series. I think the Pacers' whole team is better than Milwaukee, but it would not be crazy to say if Giannis could carry Milwaukee to a win. That would not be crazy to see. It will be interesting to see the way they play, the way that Milwaukee will play, the way Indiana will play Giannis. Will they play him straight up? Probably not. Will they come double? Will they come off with shooters? Me personally, I think if I'm Indiana, I think I'm at a point where Giannis gets his, but you can't let those role players get off because his playmaking's been great this season. Great. I, th- I think if you're Indiana on the offensive end, obviously you want to run. To me, the big key that they didn't have last year coming off their bench, Benedict Mathurin. Mathurin can, I think, in his first, he loves the moment. If Mathurin comes in off the bench and gives them about 20 a game in this series, Bucks are in trouble because you add that to what Halliburton can do, and then you add that with Siakam, Turner. Uh, if playoff Nimhard shows up, we'll see. I like Indiana in the series. I really do. Also, I think their ability, they've been really good at home this season. And they were until like the games that Halliburton played last season, uh, they were undefeated at home in the playoffs. And I think that home court is going to be big time. I think this is 6 or 7 game series, easy, and I think the Pacers pull it out personally. Now, Clips and Nuggets. This one is set. This one's interesting. I think the Clippers are going to win. I think they're going to have the coaching advantage, obviously, with Ty Lue. Zubac, he should be most improved player, but he's going to have his handful for Jokic. I mean, the guy, Jokic is averaging a dang on triple double at the center spot. He's been incredible this season. Chris Dunn will obviously be on Murray. That's going to be a big key for the Nuggets to win. Obviously, Jokic is going to have to go crazy, but I think the keys outside of Jokic and Murray, Porter's got to play, and if you can get something from Christian Brown, that's huge as well. In terms of the pick and roll, how would they guard Harden? Because they love that Harden pick and roll with Zubac. Also, in terms of Kawhi, how will they guard him? I probably think they'll maybe Gordon. It really depends. I'm not sure. To me, the key is Norman Powell. If Norman Powell has played the way that if he plays the way that he's played this season into almost being an all-star, then I believe the Nuggets win because I believe the Clippers win because I just don't think the Nuggets have enough. Jokic is great, good starting five, but I just think the depth of the Clippers, when I look at Bogdan, Derek Jones, obviously Norman Powell Zubac. I just think their role players are better than Denver's role players. I really do. Now, Denver does have the home court. They have the home court, which is a big thing because playing in Denver is no joke. But I think the Clippers veteran unit will be ready for it. I think the Clippers win this series. Pistons and Knicks. Pistons and Knicks. This is going to be the most physical series of the first round, bar none. It's going to be a dogfight. If I'm Knicks, I don't take Detroit lightly. Don't take them lightly. Cade Cunningham, this could be his coming out party. It's his first time in the playoffs. It's in Madison Square Garden. Knicks are favored 7.5, which in game one, I can see obviously why they're favored like that. The key to me, obviously, Brunson and Cat are going to be huge, but Cade Cunningham, he's going to have, if he gets locked up, they obviously have no chance. Obviously, they'll probably start with Bridges on him. Maybe OG will get a crack as well. To me, if the Pistons role players are in the groove, knocking down shots, it's going to be interesting. Duran's going to have to come to play and defend because Karl Anthony Towns has been great. But I just want to tell you, if the Knicks, as the Hawks, are trying to come back here, if the Knicks, I know it's early, if the Knicks somehow lose this series and Cat doesn't come to perform, they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him. And they're going to kill Tibbs as well. I do think the Knicks get it done in a hard-fought 6-game series. I think Detroit's better than people are giving them credit for. I think their ability to be physical. I think their ability to shoot the three. I think Cade's ability just to be a tough shot maker at times. The Knicks are going to try to slow him down. Can Mikal do it? I don't know. I don't see a world. People are saying the Pistons are going to upset the Knicks because they just don't trust the Knicks. I don't know if I see that, but I do see it being a hard fought 7 game series. Now, Timberwolves and Lakers, the 3-6 matchup in the West. I'm just going to tell you, this is going to be good. The storylines are crazy. Randall against his former team. Luka, the team he beat in the conference finals last year. Edwards versus Braun. My goodness. This is going to be a close series. If it goes to 7, I got the Lakers. Because I'm not betting against LeBron James and Luka Doncic in Game 7. I'm just not doing it. I just refuse to do it. I will not do it. I think LeBron, he will be guarded probably by Randall. I think Luka, people are saying Conley's going to start off guarding Luka. Potential that probably will happen, but later in the game, they'll probably put Jaden McDaniels on him, and then Edwards will take Reeves. I think Edwards, I saw him slow down Jamal Murray. I think he's going to be able to slow down Austin Reeves. I really do think he's going to be able to slow down Austin Reeves. Will the size come into factor? I don't know, because Naz Reid, when he comes in, he's an outside threat. He's not really a post player all the time. Whereas Gobert, he doesn't really have an offensive game. So I don't know if the size will be that big of a difference in this series. There is a world where I could see Minnesota upsetting the Lakers in minutes. And Anthony Edwards saying last year was a little bit of a preview, but now I have officially arrived. Imagine Just imagine this. And the headlines, if Anthony Edwards takes down the Lakers, Luka and LeBron are home. That would be insane. But the key for obviously Minnesota to rebounding, Randall's going to have to be a great rebounder, defender. The offense, Edwards going to have to be good. Coming off the bench, DiVincenzo, he's a guy you got to look out for. If you watched the playoffs last year when he was with the Knicks, he was smoking from three. If they get something like that again, Lakers could be in a little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble. In terms of the Sunday games, look, the Thunder are going to beat either the Mavericks or the Grizzlies in 4 or 5. If it's the Grizzlies, it's 5 games because I respect Ja enough for them to get a game. But if it's the Mavericks, I know it's a veteran laid team, but it's 4. OKC's just that good. The Celtics and Magic, I got the Celtics at 5. And again, I respect Ben Carroll enough to get them a game. When you go on scoring droughts, and I'm talking about Orlando. Sometimes they go on tough scoring droughts. You can't do that against Boston. Now I know how good Orlando's defense is. I just think at times it's going to be okay, 1-on-1, Tatum or Brown, and they're just going to make a tough shot. And I'm going to look at Orlando and say, there's nothing you can do about that. But I just think Boston, 61 wins. They're playing as good as they have all season. Now, Jaylen Brown apparently is getting shots in his knee. I don't love that. Don't love that, but I think he will. But I think Boston will be fine. I think they take care of Orlando. Also for Orlando, no sucks. I think Boston takes care of Orlando in about 5 games. And then you got the Cavs versus Heat or the Hawks. If it is the Hawks, it's interesting because the Hawks have given them a little bit of trouble this season. I think they've beaten them twice. But Miami, I see no way where Miami gets a game on Cleveland. But with the Hawks, Trey could will them to a game or two. Not to a game. Cleveland's just too good. I'm looking at Garland. I'm looking at Mitchell. I'm looking at Hunter. I'm looking at Mobley playing the best he's ever played. Looking at Jared Allen. I'm looking at their bench, man. Cleveland, the way they built this roster, and give credit to Kenny Atkinson, they're great, man. So I think Cleveland wins this series probably in about and whoever they play again. If it's Heat, it's 4. If it's Hawks, I'll say 5, but it could be 4. Then Warriors Rockets. Oof. This is a tough one. I got the Warriors because I just don't want to go against Steph and Jimmy, but they're gonna have some problems in this series. I think the inexperience could come into a play early. I think Şengün is going to dominate because, look, I know they're going to have Draymond on them, but I believe they're too small. Amen Thompson is going to get the initial assignment on Steph. The only question I think there is to answer is how will the Warriors how will the refs officiate this series? Because the Rockets are going to want to get physical. The Warriors are probably going to want to get physical back because it's the playoffs. So we'll see in that regard. In terms of who has Jalen Green, I guess they may put Butler on him, or it'll be Pods, and Butler will be matched up with Brooks. The rebounding is going to be crucial for the Warriors as well. How will they? Obviously, the Rockets. Amen Thompson's going to get the assignment on Steph, but they will send 2 at the ball at times. It's going to have to be Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy Butler plays well, and that kind of frees up Steph a little bit, then I think the Warriors win. Obviously, B Pods is gonna have to be huge. Justin Kuminga gonna have to play in the series. Steve Kerr, he just gonna have to play. Help you with rebounds and everything. Look, the scoring aspect he can do, I get it, but he just gives you another sense of athleticism, which against Houston, you're facing a young athletic team. That's what you need. That's what you need. But I am going the Warriors. I think the Warriors have the experience. I think the Warriors win this in a tough 7-game series. All right, that is it for the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast for Friday, April 18th. I have been your host, Noah Love. I will be doing a reaction to the game ones on Saturday. We'll have a lot of Saturday and Sunday is stacked. The playoffs are here. I can't wait. Until next time. See ya.